document, or rather this period, because a lot of civil society organizations have had briefings, forums have been held where we've seen violence. I mean, it has really been controversial.
Now, talking about a press briefing that have been held just yesterday, we saw a consortium of civil society organizations comprising of Caritas Zambia, Action Aid, Gears Initiative, Chapter 1 Foundation, and there is also a new organization which talks about democracy also, which they held a press briefing yesterday, and for them, they actually want this particular bill to be withdrawn, and they were able to raise out serious statements calling on parliamentarians, should this bill come for debate today to be read for the second reading. They have called on parliamentarians to be against this particular deal. Apart from a consortium of civil society organizations, we saw also another organization calling itself CRECO. It is also a civil society organization, and them actually for the bill that it should be enacted into law. Quite, controversy really amongst the civil society organizations. We are saying this because there are some who are for the bill and others actually not for the bill.
Yes, it is quite interesting, Darius. I mean, the civil society organizations have different interests, and while others are for the idea and others are really not for the bill.
Now, and it's amongst the controversial, clauses that are in this particular bill. We can talk about the much talked about the bringing back of deputy ministers, a collusion government, and many other clauses which, the opposition members of parliament that the UPND are actually against, and them too are calling for the withdrawal of this particular bill. Yesterday, we saw them having a press briefing held at their party secretariat, and we saw leader of the opposition, that's Jack Mwimbu, just indicating to us that they will make sure whatever comes, come rain, come sunshine, this particular bill won't be able to, pass and be able to be, a constitution of Zambia. Now, in as much as we can talk about, this particular bill, there are other developments also that have ensued, in the country. We can talk about COVID-19, that's the coronavirus. And earlier on, we saw the Minister of Health, banning massive or huge, gatherings, and also putting up these other restrictions and many other restrictions too that we can share to our viewers.
Yes, Darius. I mean, this virus has really been of disturbance in the country. I mean, the minister brought in measures. I mean, the cautions that have been put in place in gatherings. I mean, this is quite a huge gathering, so we really need to look out for what measures have been put in place to have such gatherings. I mean, it is quite an intense situation. Even
as we discuss the Constitution Amendment Bill number 10, and I think these are the issues that probably we should, look forward to. And we understand that the Minister of Health, Dr. Chitalu Chilufya, is actually one of the members of Parliament from the Patriotic Front. Now, just like I indicated to you earlier on, the Constitution Amendment Bill number 10 is coming up for the second reading, and parliamentarians will debate over this particular bill, and thereafter it will be subjected to a vote. Now, the Patriotic Front alone, who are the movers of this particular, bill, don't have the numbers in Parliament that will allow this bill to go into third reading. There are about 86 members of Parliament for the Patriotic Front. We have the Opposition United Party for National Development, who are also about 54, and we have 14 independent members of Parliament. We can also exclude, the fact that we have MMD being represented, we have NDC being represented, and for the Patriotic Front to have a vote, just them allowing this particular bill to pass, they will actually need the 14 members of independent members of Parliament and many other members of Parliament belonging to political different political parties such as the NDC and the MMD. So these are the things that we will definitely look forward to as the bill comes for the second reading. Now, behind me are security men that have actually been deployed here at a Parliament building, and just as you can see, there are also people that have come along just waiting to be screened before they are being allowed into Parliament building. It will be indeed quite a busy day. Parliamentarians have already started arriving here, and at exactly 14:30 we will cross over to Parliament just to bring you the debates as they happen. So we expect the Minister of Justice, that given Lubinda, just to subject this particular bill for the second reading. There have been many talks going on, and the Minister in charge of Justice, that given Lubinda, has been going in many media houses where he has talked about the importance of this particular bill to be enacted into law. However, there have been also opposition remarks coming, of course, from the United Party for National Development, which is the lead opposition political party, with members of Parliament into the House who have also held several briefings talking about the ills of this particular bill. The Constitution Amendment Bill number 10 of 2019 has come at a very crucial time. This is a time when the country, that Zambia, has actually been declared as one of the high risk countries to have the coronavirus, that COVID-19, which has actually affected many African countries. About 15 African countries have been affected by this particular disease. We have seen restrictions being put across. South Africa is one of the countries that has put up restrictions. Morocco also has put up restrictions. Italy, which is now, we can say, probably an epicenter of this pandemic, looking at the people that have died due to this coronavirus. Right now, we'll be able to cross into Parliament just to give you a glimpse of what's happening as we give you these live updates here at Parliament with my colleague Ernest Namsika. This is Darius Jr. and we cross over to Parliament. You're watching News on the Go.
News on the Go with Diamond TV, powered by MTN.
Of such important responsibilities in this land, let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our...
On the Go with Diamond TV, powered by MTN. News on the Go with Diamond TV, powered by MTN.
You have committed to our charge. Amen. Honorable members, I have an announcement. Honorable members, as you are aware, the government, through the Ministry of Health, has issued 2 statutory instruments aimed at strengthening measures to combat the spread of the COVID-19, otherwise known as coronavirus, further to the circular issued by the Office of the Clerk to honorable members. I now wish to advise that the House that hand sanitizers have been placed in all entry and relevant points within the Parliament buildings. Accordingly, honorable members and staff are encouraged to take full advantage of these facilities. I thank you. Honorable members, we proceed to consider questions for oral answer under Standing Order 31. The Honorable Member for Kanchivia.
Two for two, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Housing and Infrastructure Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Dr. Malama, Member of Parliament for Kanchivia constituency, would like to find out from the Minister of Housing and Infrastructure Development a question in two parts. Part A, whether government is aware the Kopampika Road in Kanchivia parliamentary constituency has become almost impassable following heavy rains, and B, if so, what urgent measures have been undertaken to address the problem to avoid